time. I always pay a price too high. I'm ready for a fight, never flight, but I wanna have fun all night. I could've took this girl if I wanted, but I ain't into throwing dirty laundry in the public. I can always make something out of nothing, cause I know how it was when it wasn't. Falling ships and murder that she wrote. Combination, always drink and smoke. Apathy could help the way I roll, cause I'm selective on how much I show. Time will tell, don't show me what I know. Know your worth to only go for broke. You look good but act just like a hoe. You look good but I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me slapsticks, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. I really can't stress this enough. I always gotta keep it at a buck. I rather have money than lust, but I'ma look twice if she got a big butt. I have a hard time with trust. Hard time love is a new fine drug. It's okay, I'ma fill my cup. It's okay, I'ma still turn up. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing. I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me slapsticks, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. Why don't you just pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing, I love the night.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Butterfly Blackout. I'm your host, Emily, along with Truth. Hey, Truth.
What's
We
good,
got a lot to cover
Ooh.
in such a little time. If you haven't heard, Leah Thomas is making headlines. Leah Thomas used to be known as William Thomas. Leah made history as the first trans woman, or the first out trans woman, to win the NCAA swimming title. She was ranked number 1 in women's swimming, but when she resided her life as a man, as William Thomas, William ranked 462 in men's swimming. So clearly there are people that are happy about this. People are upset about this. People that are happy said that, she followed the rules. She took the hormone treatments, or testosterone, whatever it is that they do, to make them less of a man. So she followed the rules. Even Caitlyn Jenner went on Fox to discuss this, and Caitlyn agreed that Leah followed the rules. The issue isn't that Leah followed the rules. The issue is, should trans women play, and this is something that we've been talking about for months, should trans women play in women's sports? That is the issue, because biologically they're not the same, built-wise. A woman is a woman and a man is a man. You have to kind of dumb yourself down to be a woman. So should they play? Well, everybody has their opinion. Even Fox's Outnumbered was talking about this. Is there a way to make things fair? Whereas, you put like an asterisk by the name to designate that this person is a special person or a trans person, so that way that they have maybe a little bit more of an edge than the other winners. How does this do for the other 3 competitors that took second, third, and fourth? Second place went to Emma Wayans. We have third place went to Erica Sullivan, and fourth place went to Brooke Ford. Now, these 3 young ladies worked a long time to get to where they are, And some people feel like it's unfair that they got knocked out of, their rightful places because here comes Leah, who used to be a man, is now a woman and smoked the competition. But Caitlyn Jenner pointed out, remember Caitlyn Jenner used to be Bruce Jenner. However, Caitlyn was a former athlete under the name of Bruce. And athletes can read each other. You know what I mean? Like how black people be looking at each other, we've seen each other, we can read and, understand each other's, body movements so we know. Athletes have that same communication. Athletes can talk to each other without saying anything. Like an athlete knows what another athlete is thinking and doing, right? So Caitlyn said, Leah held back. Leah didn't swim at 100%. Because had Leah swam at 100%, she would have really smoked the competition, which would have questioned, the treatments that she's doing, are they really effective? That made it very interesting to me. Because Caitlyn mentioned, where's your integrity? How do you feel okay with smoking out the competition, which really isn't your competition? Your competition is really with men. It seems to me we have an issue. So when they did the ceremony, if you see the top, I guess it's the top left over here, you'll see that Leah's by herself, and then the other three are taking photos by them together because they're unhappy. And if you see the picture down below, you'll notice that the number 3 place, Erica Sullivan's looking at Leah because it's confusing. These girls work hard. They're natural girls. The community would call them cisgender. And yet they don't have anything to show for it, really, but to take a step back to a man. Because that's really what it is. You're taking a step back to a guy who came in 462 with the men and decided he was going to take it up a notch and try hanging out with the women, and he smoked them and got number 1. So, where do we go from here? Fox's Outnumbered was talking about how they should probably take an asterisk and just put that by the person's name to designate to kind of make it more fair. No. Fox, you should hire me because I'm the person that's going to say what y'all don't want to say because you were all thinking the same thing I'm about to say. This may sound harsh, but you know what? Y'all want to play this game? We're going to play this game. So, if you're a natural man and you came in 462 in the men's swimming and decide you want to take your chance being a woman and swim with the women and have a better opportunity to get to place higher, then I suggest, as you become a woman and call yourself a trans, then as that trans, you should play with the men. Hear me out. We have all these people trying to make the trans community feel better about themselves, right? Because they're confused and they don't know if they're going to be a woman today or a man tomorrow. We got some of them who play both the fields. You see them on Monday, they're a man, and then you see them on Wednesday, and they're a woman. And they get to flip-flop. And I think that's wrong, too. I don't think you get a chance to flip-flop. I think if you decide you're going to change your gender, then you stay with whatever it is you want to be. Now, if you want to make history, why not be the first trans woman to play for an all-man's team? You don't have to take no hormone therapy treatments or whatever it is that you got to do. You ain't got to do all that. You will be known as the first trans man to play on a man's team. The first trans woman to play on a man's team. Same thing for women. If the women decide they want to become a man, you'll be the first trans man to play on a woman's team. That's simple. Now, if the woman who was a man smoked out the other 3 girls, nobody will really say anything. It'll be the first man to win in a female's competition. Unless we're going to get rid of the whole gender altogether and not call it a men or woman's competition. Everybody just play together. Because you know that's coming. Once it trickles down to the NBA, once it trickles down to the NFL, it's all coming. This is just the first step to see if it works. Now, I think it's a scam. Personally. I don't think that he is really a trans. I think he became a trans so he could have a better opportunity to be better at his sport. Here's the problem. You got people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Layla Ali. Give me somebody else.
Sports-wise, let's say
you
Tiger
got
Woods.
Muhammad Ali.
Tiger Woods.
Kyrie Irving. These people, Serena Williams, these people, you know what it took for them to become great? Leah, this is a lesson for you and everybody else who wants to be a poser, because I'm going to call you a poser because that's exactly what you are. See, the realest of us all, we understand the game. This ain't got nothing to do with you being trans or anything. You're a poser. This ain't real. You are a poser. These people that I mentioned do something that you didn't do, and which is why you came in number 462 with the men. You ranked 462 with the men because you didn't practice. See, the people that I named, they practiced. Michael Jordan practiced. Kobe practiced. You might want to go, replay some old tapes where he mentioned how he practiced. Layla Ali, you got to make sacrifices. And sacrifices don't mean that you give up your man lifestyle to become a woman so you could be on equal playing field, which we're really not on an equal playing field. I mean, you're 8 feet tall and they're like 3 feet tall. Let's keep it a buck. So everybody wants to be a part of this whole trans and have compassion, all this other stuff. That's nonsense. That's not what this is. Because if you're so worried about making history and you want to be all about, you want to live a life of a trans, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to play with the men. Because you're a natural born man becoming a woman. You still play with the men. It's that simple. I said it. Y'all don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. So there's no more of these trans coming to play and infiltrate women's sports. No. You don't see not yet. You don't see the women trying to play with the men. We have women who want to play with men. What's going to happen when a woman decides she wants to play football? So she becomes a man. Now you got her in the NFL because if you say no, it's going to be a problem. So now they have every right, since you want to be a man, they're going to treat you like a man, right? So when they tackle you and you get hurt, what happens? Because you can't take steroids. You can't be using drugs. Now, if you're a man and you play for the NFL and you decide you want to be a woman, we'll call you Sabrina. So say Sam decides to be Sabrina and he plays for the NFL. Guess what? All right, they're still going to treat you like you are. They're going to treat you like a man. They're going to pounce you like a man, just like they would any other time. They'll call you Sabrina, but they're going to treat you like the way you are. You want to play with the men, it's going to be you're going to play with the men. But this and everybody rallying around it, you guys have lost your minds. So what are the women supposed to do? I know you're not going to tell them to work harder because they did enough. So the real winners would be the three on the left or the right? Will be the three cisgender. So we got to call them cisgenders to make everybody else feel better. You see that, how weird that is? I got to call myself a cisgender to make you feel better about how you feel. Isn't that what therapy is for? So you want us to look at this man who's trying to become a woman playing with women because he couldn't make it with the men. What the NCAA should have said, they should have told her to play with the men. I want to see somebody have the big balls and say that, because y'all don't have it. Then it's going to be an uproar because, oh my gosh, why would you do that? She's now a woman, not a man. So what? If you want to make history that way. And I want to see Leah swim with the men. I want to see Leah swim with the men. And if Leah is that good and she ranked number 1, then she should be able to smoke out the men. Facts? Well, to the real winners, ladies, congratulations. Leah, you need some soul searching because you know you were wrong and I believe you're a fake. I think you just did this so you could be number 1. I'm not buying the whole you were trans. Nah. I'm not riding that coat train. But what I also need, I need Layla Ali. I need Michael Jordan. I'm going to need Tom Brady. I'm going to need Tiger Woods. And I'm going to need Serena. I need you all to come together for one night only. Because you ain't got to repeat yourself after this. One night only. And just emphasize the meaning of practicing. That's how you get good at something. You practice. You got to give up some things, make sacrifices, and practice. Like swimming should be night and day. You have to eat, breathe, and do all this stuff. Swimming is your everything to be number one. If it's really your life and you want to be, who am I missing? What's her name? The gymnast.
Oh gosh, I don't follow that sport. Talking about the Sim is her name? Something. Samara.
What?
Miles.
No. Oh my gosh, Simone Biles.
That's it.
I don't know what you said. But Simone Biles, she needs to be on that panel too. Simone Biles didn't become the GOAT of gymnastics just to, what? By not practicing. Like, I don't understand. Like, you sacrifice a lot. Leah, you are a sham. You're fake. I'm going to call you what you are. You are fake. And everybody else rallying around you, they got issues. If you can't see how fake this is. I want everybody who believes in Leah so much to tell Leah to stop, go back on your testosterone treatments or whatever it is that you need to do, and then go swim with the men. And I'll admit that I'm wrong if she smokes out the men. If she smokes out the men, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But I know for a fact she's not going to smoke out the men. I know that for a fact. But trans women, just speaking athletes, trans women athletes need to play with the men. And trans men athletes need to play with the women. That's how that should go. If y'all want to be like that, that's how you do that. But the rest of y'all I mentioned, I need for you to create a panel, discuss what practicing looks like and what it means so that the rest of these fake athletes can understand. Because this new school of athletes, I don't know where you got them from. They be crying all the time, whining all the time. I can't. Bring me back some of the old ones because they had more heart. They had more drive. They had more passion. Y'all just want everything handed to you. Y'all don't even understand. This is where Kim Kardashian's little slogan comes in. Get off your butt and work. Y'all need to work. Now go to your 9 to 5. Put the work in to make yourself successful. That's what you need to do. Practice. Now, I'm done with that. We'll see what happens. But Fox is outnumbered. You should call me because y'all didn't say it and I said it. Oh my gosh. I don't want to see Leah no more. I really don't. Now, I wasn't going to mention this, but I have to because since we went from the LGBTQ and trans, we have another trans. Her name is Naya Okami. Naya is a trans who identifies as a wolf. Now, we had a conversation about me identifying as a white woman because I feel like if trans can switch it up, then basically all of us should just be trans at this point. So the LGBTQ is specific to everybody. Because tomorrow, Truth, you might decide you want to be what? Asian? Is that your right?
Absolutely.
So, and you can apply for what? An Asian, say there's a grant and you want to apply for it, but you have to be Asian. I identify as Asian. Why not? This is a trans who identifies as a wolf, goes out into the woods. She does the whole, all that. These people exist. I'm here to help you understand that these people do exist. So she went to a rally where people were protesting not to wear masks and stuff. And she got into it with a protester. And the protester was like, you know, he didn't know what she was, but knew that she wasn't a woman. And didn't want to believe in her reality or her delusion of being a woman. So he was like, do you have ovaries? Do you have ovaries? So she put a post up saying, not all women, including cis women, have ovaries. So now you make the justification that you don't need to have an ovary, or you don't need to have ovaries in order to consider yourself a woman. You don't need to give birth or have a uterus to consider yourself a woman. What's the prerequisites to consider yourself a wolf? Like, I'm just curious, do the wolf packs want you in their pack? Like, how does that work? Because you have a 9 to 5. I just want to know how that lifestyle works. Like, do you eat animals? Like, how does that really work? Do you vote? Are we allowed to, should we allow people who identify as animals to vote? Because that's kind of scary. I don't know. But people like her exist. And I want to bring this to everyone's attention because you may be sitting next to somebody who identifies as something and they be doing some weird things. Next thing you know, they howling at the moon and you trying to figure out why. I mean, there are people who identify as cats. There are people who identify as trees. They'll stand there looking like a tree. Real, that's real. But my point in this is that she made a statement saying that not all women, including cis women, have ovaries. So it's justifiable for her to be born a man and to want to transition into a woman and actually be a woman. But I'm confused because technically if you're trans and you say you're a woman, but then you identify as a wolf, is that like a double trans? Like, can you do that? Are trans allowed to change what they are every so often? Like, is it like a one-time thing or is it a multiple type of change? Like, if you're born and the doctor says, oh, you're born with a penis, we consider that to be a man. But maybe we shouldn't call you a man because, or a male, because you may decide later that just because you have a penis, that's not how you feel because your brain said you're really a woman, but you have a penis. I don't know how that works because it sounds really crazy. But then again, when you grow up, you decide I'm genderless because even though I have a penis and I feel like I am a woman and I'm growing breasts, or I went to the doctor to get breasts, my spirit animal, because it's spiritual, is telling me that I'm a wolf and I need to be out in the woods. Did I get my mail-in ballot yet? Like, I wonder, is that how it goes? I mean, should we worry about the state of America with people like this out there? Or anybody in any country with people like this? I mean, I say America because we live in America, but really, for everybody's country. I mean, imagine being in Africa. You sitting in the classroom, next thing you know, somebody talking about they identify as white. And y'all know darn well, like, explain that conversation that we're going to have. What kind of conversation you going to see happening in the middle of nowhere in Africa talk about you identify as white? Bad enough you had Charlize Theron, who adopted 2 African kids, and then as early as ages 3, they were going to sit there and say they're not boys, they're girls. So you can't wipe yourself. You can't feed yourself. You can't take a bath by yourself. You can't run hot water, but you can tell me at the age of 3 that you're a girl. And then you want to put them in dresses and tutus. Let them grow their hair out. Give them braid extensions. And now they're living their lives as girls. So you adopt our black people from Africa just to turn them into girls. So you adopt black boys. But it's okay because you have this person over here living like a woman and a wolf. Juicy. Jussie Smollett. This is an LGBTQ kind of day. He only served 6 days and then he was released. And he will be released on his bail while his appeal is pending. Some people are pissed off because there are people behind bars, still behind bars, waiting for their appeal, but he gets let out. Did he get let out because of a corrupt law system? Or did he get out because of the LGBTQ backing him? Like, what do you think is the real reason he got let out? Because I was trying to figure this out. I've seen, I follow him because I was a fan of Empire, but I was a fan of his before Empire, actually. I was a fan of the whole fam. I still am. I was a fan of the whole family. And when this attack took place, I was upset because Jussie Smollett was my favorite. Like, actually, he's not my favorite. His sister's my favorite. But he's my second favorite. Sorry, Jussie, but that's just facts. I like his singing, and that's what really drew me into him. So when he was allegedly attacked, I was heartbroken. Because I'm like, who wants to take him out? Like, why are you coming for him? What'd he do? So something about this didn't sit well with me. Then they wanted to say he was lying, and I was like, but who would make up a lie like that? And I actually believed his innocence, and I thought that this was like a whole corrupt thing with the police because none of this made any sense to me. And I never assumed that it was because he's black. Assumed because he's gay. You know what I mean? Because everybody, it seemed like, rallied around him when we heard about this violence that took place. You talk about a noose. You're saying that these MAGA people, and this was back when I didn't even take the red pill. I was like, what? I wanted to fight for him. But again, something changed. Something just didn't make any sense. Then we found out that he paid the O brothers, to help orchestrate this plan. But I was like, but he said before he paid them because they were his personal trainers. And then I was like, it was like about $3,000 and change. You make more money than that to be paying $3,000 and change to two people to have them fake a crime. That part still doesn't make sense to me. Why would he only pay you $3,000 and change? And why would you accept only $3,000 when you know he makes more than that? That's still something nobody answered to me. So I didn't believe that part. And I still thought he was innocent and he was a victim of a hate crime. Now, then people started saying, well, it was too cold to be outside. Something doesn't add up. You said that they poured bleach-like substance on you. And if it was bleach, then why didn't you have stain marks on your clothes? Then we get to the noose around his neck. I'm like, why would you keep the noose around your neck? But then he mentioned he wanted the police to see it. This is where he lost me. Because I was on team Jussie until this happened. So the police asked you for your phone. You didn't want to give up your phone. I didn't understand that. Because I'm thinking, this is serious. Like somebody tried to take you out and hang you. If it were, if it was somebody else, they would have been like, here, take everything. Find out who did it. Now, you reported that somebody sent you a threatening note to the Empire Studios. Nobody really paid attention to it. Now somebody jumped you. But then when the police come, number one, you didn't even call the police. A friend of yours called the police. That's suspect number one. Suspect number two, when the police come, you wanted them to turn off their cameras. Why? At this point in my mind, I'm thinking, somebody tried to take you out. You want the police to do whatever they can to find them. You're not really thinking about all the security measures and stuff like that. Who cares at this point? You're not staying there no more. You gonna move. Right? All right. So I'm trying to understand. You don't call the police. Somebody else called the police because you was hesitant to call the police. I don't get why. When they get there, you want them to turn off. Now, with everything going on with black folks, you want them to turn off the body cam. And the police said, just so you know, you're asking us to turn off the body cams because they had the body cams on. All right. Number 3, they ask you for your phone. You don't want to give up your phone because you have personal content like that. Don't make. First of all, what they trying to steal off your phone? Somebody try to attack you. They need everything that they can get. Oh, well, you have pictures. Not like police ain't seen pictures before. You ain't the only person, who has not committed a crime, but had a crime committed against them. They done seen, trust me, have you ever been to an evidence locker? An evidence room? Trust and believe they done seen a whole lot. You ain't no different. Okay? But I thought those 3 things were suspicious, which made me think something's off about this whole story. Now, I don't know if you faked it. They said they found you guilty. And the guilt, the punishment is jail time. Which you really didn't get jail time. You got probation. But the judge said part of it was going to be spent in jail. Now, you really should have gotten the maximum or the minimum, which could have been a year in jail. But you only had 150 days in jail. Was it 150 days? Is that 5 months?
I think wasn't it 52 or something like that?
You didn't have that long. You would have been out by June or something, right? Now, you already, because it's Lent, you're supposed to be fasting and stuff like that and praying. Now, they let you out because everybody hollered and hooped and hon, and then, they want people to call and call. Why are you asking me to call for him? Personally, I don't know, Jesse. When you got all the celebrities and all the Black Lives Matter, who, by the way, were very silent until he got locked up, I find that to be suspicious as well. So, there goes a meme. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. Jesse, I don't know if you're a narcissist. I don't know if this was something that you concocted. I still find it weird that if you did, you only paid the brothers $3,000. Unless if there was more money, then they just didn't say anything and you didn't pay them by check. You probably paid them by Cash App or something. I don't even know. Because that $3,000 don't even make any sense. I also said if your family wants to help you, then I think that your family needs to get you a new legal counsel. When I watched the sentencing hearing, I was trying to figure out why you ain't fired them a long time ago. Body language will tell you everything you need to know. Jesse, you came prepared, but your team didn't come prepared. It was disgusting. So because they look like they just want your money. Point blank, period. So my advice to you, get you a new legal team, somebody who's actually going to work. You got one who was slouched in a chair, and I'm thinking, why the heck are you slouched in a chair? What? Why you look like that? Why does Jesse look like he came prepared and y'all didn't come prepared? Where was his defense? You ever watch a show called The Practice? You have Bobby Donaldson and his firm. Those are the lawyers you need. Because they're real quick to place blame on somebody else. Like, I don't know, Lee Daniels. If I was your attorney, I would have blamed him. I don't care if he was your friend. I don't care if y'all went to the bathroom together. Is the bathroom? Did we have this conversation? What is it called? The spa?
Yeah. Bathhouse.
Bathhouse. I don't care. I would have every doubt possible to make you look good. Because remember, they wasn't trying to kick you off of Empire, but then all of a sudden, you get written out of Empire. And then I don't hear nothing from him. I don't hear nothing from a whole lot of people. Where were they at? If that's the case and they want to separate ties, I would have said, oh, so you had a threatening letter come to the studio. Lee Daniels did nothing. Because to me, it seemed like, allegedly, this is me speculating. I'm thinking Lee probably set you up. You were probably, if you say you're innocent, I think you were set up. I think what happened was somebody set you up, but see, being naive, you trusting everybody, you didn't even see it coming. You didn't see it coming. And they got you for whatever the purpose was. But I would have explored that a little bit more. I think you need to sit down, tell your brother to stay off of your Instagram, okay? Because I'm tired of looking at him. I haven't heard from Journey. Journey is my favorite. I followed Journey since she was like we were young. Jesse's number 2. I don't know about the rest of the family. But I just feel like tell him to get off your Instagram page, do some self-reflection, get you a new legal team, and actually do some real investigating, because something about this doesn't, whether you like Jesse or not, whether you think he's innocent or not, something still is off about this whole situation, because I need to understand why anybody would fake a hate crime in below zero temperatures for only $3,000. I mean, truth. Let me know. Maybe that's the going rate. If you
Um,
making 170,000 per episode, I'm saying you could have paid me like a cool. But then again, the conversation could have been, I'ma pay you this because you're training me, but the real money I'll put it through someplace else, or I'll pay cash or something. I don't know. Something is off. Jesse, I'm gonna keep hope alive. But hopefully the truth will come out, and that's what we need right now, the truth. And for everybody really making fun of him, I don't get why you're making fun of him. There's another person, Brittany Griner, the NBA star that's held, the WNBA star that's held up in Russia. And people are saying, you know, it's because she's black. Nobody's like really paying attention to her case. Well, allegedly she smuggled some weed, oil, or something. And she got caught. Now, here's the thing. Some say she was set up. I don't really see what the purpose of setting her up would be, because what does that got to do with anything? She's not that popular enough to hold hostage to have an issue with the United States, right? Every country has its own rules. Every country has their laws. You know what you can and cannot do. Now, she goes to Russia. She plays on a team. She knows the laws. Sometimes when people mess up, they mess up. And when they mess up, what happens? They got to pay the consequences. That's just it. Now, y'all want us to care about Britney so much for what? I don't even know the whole story like that. All I know is that she got arrested. She's perfectly fine. They didn't torture the girl. But she broke their law. And last time I checked, when you break laws, you got to pay the consequences. Stop making everything about race. Y'all talking about because she's black, and black ain't got nothing to do with what she did. Just because she was black don't mean nothing. And I don't even know why she would smuggle anything when you coming back to the United States. Now, just because you had a friend who didn't get caught doesn't mean that you're not going to get caught. So everybody wants to rally against Britney. I'm not rallying against anybody if you're going to keep tagging race behind it, making everything racial, because everything is not racial. Jussie Smollett, because he's black. Black ain't got nothing to do with it when you had all types of nationalities and races come together to help you. Nobody was just looking at you because you were black. It was an outrage. White people was behind you. Then all of a sudden, again, stuff just didn't make any sense. I didn't understand, Jesse, why you sat there and didn't give up your phone. You want to sit there and talk about you got personal information. They don't care about that. That's why you got attorneys, to make sure your stuff don't get leaked. And then you sue them if they do. For all this, they're just trying to find the people that attacked you. Now you mentioned it was a white guy who had a rope hanging from his coat, but y'all can't find a white guy. But conveniently enough, the two black guys you found in a cab leaving the scene. Some don't make sense. But if you were set up, then have your new legal team, not the old one, the new legal team help you figure that out. Now, remember Love is Blind season 2. Everybody got on Shake. Shake sat there and apologized to Deeps. He didn't mean to hurt her feelings if that's how she felt. He was just being honest. Well, I guess Love isn't so blind. Here is his new girlfriend, Emily. Just how he likes them. He has this picture captioned, "Good things come to those who don't settle."
Shots.
So that's what she looks like, because she was bundled up there in Chicago. He's happy. She's happy. I saw a video. They were sitting at dinner with his mom. He's very happy. He likes what he likes. You know? Unfortunately, he wanted to like Deeps, but the problem was he couldn't get past the physical part. And apparently, I guess he said something that really offended people, but we don't know because nobody wants to say it out loud. And here's my thing. Say it out loud. Tell us what we're missing, because everything that I saw on TV was not disrespectful. Okay? He was being honest. And if you can't have honesty in a relationship, then what do you have? He was just being honest. So If there was something else that was said, then have the balls to say what he said so the rest of us can understand and get on the same level of anger as everyone else. But he is not holding back. He's over here smiling. He's happy. You know what, Shake? I'm Team Shake at this point because it don't make no sense. Everybody holding Deeps up like she's some type of goddess. Like, I don't get it. Okay? I really don't. It was a good chemistry, but you couldn't get past the physical part. He didn't really touch her like that. Okay. So, now, should they have ended things earlier and still remain friends? They could have. But this is what he likes. Chick over here, Emily, this is what he likes. This is what he's used to dating. This is what he wants. She already met the mother. All right? So, she's in. Now, I responded to a post on Twitter about the Ukraine. And apparently I pissed some people off because, everybody be in their feelings. And, you can't speak freely in this country without people getting upset because that's what they do. So I responded to an ABC tweet that said, breaking overnight, Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov, if I said it correct, says that any foreign supplies to Ukraine containing military equipment will be considered legitimate targets for Russian strikes. Okay? I responded and said, duh. In other words, USA, mind your own business. It's not our war. Because that's how I felt, right? So somebody responded, well, about 53 responses, okay? So one person said, you're literally describing the start of World War II. Open a book. Here we go. A comment is just a comment. People are so emotional. It's exhausting with all the emotions. Y'all don't even know why you're upset. Okay? Y'all wake up upset. But we're going to keep going because that wasn't the only one. Everybody got mad at me. This person says, it is our war. We agreed to have Ukraine's back when they surrendered their nuclear weapons, and it's the whole world's war because terrorists, war criminal dictators do not belong on this earth. Anyone who thinks differently needs to be educated themselves on the big picture. Well, Truth, let me ask you a question.
Absolutely.
For the 4 years that Trump was president, did we start a war with Russia?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I'm just asking. Because y'all really upset. You're telling me this is our war because the leaders of the country said that they have Ukraine's back, right? And Ukraine stupidly gave up their nuclear weapons. Whose fault is that? Truth?
It's the
Say it. Whose fault is that? It's Ukraine's fault. Nobody pulled, tied strings, tried to knock him out, and forced him to give up his nukes. That was his fault. Or not his fault. Whoever decided that it should be. I don't know who said it. Okay? But your celebrity in chief over there in Ukraine, you a whole entire president. Right? You having conversations with Putin, Putin's already lit. Putin done told you he was going to do something stupid, right? So at what time do you think would be a good time to tell your people that live in the Ukraine, maybe y'all need to leave because I'm not sure this dude is wrapped too tight. And if I'm going to save my people, I need for everybody to evacuate. I don't know. We're going to have to talk to Poland. Poland, you have to take my people because this man is irate. Something ain't right with him. All right? But you going to wait till he starts bombing before you decide to do something? Now you want to plead to Congress. Congress over here giving in 2 seconds. They ain't take no week, 5 weeks, a year. In 2 seconds decided that $13.6 billion was going to go to the aid of Ukraine. But they have to wait and negotiate to give you $600 in America. Okay. But they can give billions to the. Whose money is it? Where'd y'all find 13 billion? Whose money is that? Where'd y'all get that from?
Us.
Who's us? Because I
Taxpayers.
didn't tell you to give my money to the Ukraine. I didn't say that.
They gonna give it away.
Oh, that's what they did. All right. Let's see. Someone said it's a selfish comment. If we had people bombing our hospitals and neighborhoods and needed help, we'd want other countries to step up. Well, yeah, we will want people to step up, but a selfish comment? It's not a selfish comment, it's an opinion. In my opinion, it's not our war. How am I being selfish by saying it's not our war? So I guess you got people in your family, so when they get ready for World War III, your people gonna go out there and fight over there, right? Because I'm just trying to understand what we're doing. All right? Because the government is corrupt. All governments are corrupt, okay? We don't really know what's going on. They just tell us what they want us to know. They have you turn on CNN and all these other networks telling you the same information, what they fed to them, so that you know the same thing, so you don't see what's going on. By the way, there's a real interesting story since everybody's so hung up on Ukraine. Yeah, probably because New York Post printed out that laptop they found of Biden's son does belong to Biden's son. But you don't hear nobody talking about it because y'all want to focus on Ukraine. See, they love to do things to distract you from what's really about to happen. And all this is a distraction. All this blaming Russia on some freak that Russia's the problem with our gas prices being high. Because Buttigieg, is that how you say it? Your transportation secretary, he admitted that the plan is to make everybody go electric. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. They want everybody to drive electric cars. They want to phase out the whole use of oil. That's why they're not trying to drill right here in the United States, because they want you to drive an electric car. Now, half y'all can't afford the gas prices right now. Can you afford a $50,000 electric car? Are they going to give you money? They probably will say you'll get a one-time tax, a tax rebate or something, to say, hey, you got an electric car. That's not a tax credit. That's not every year. Just that one-time purchase will get you what you need, right? So you got to pay how much a month financing it? What is, if it's $50,000, how much is that per month to finance?
$50, 50 what?
50,000.
$50,000 per month.
No, not $50,000 per month. Say the electric car is $50,000.
Right. Well, it depends if you have a 36-month, you have a 72-month, or 84-month is what's new now. So depending on how far you want to stretch those payments, obviously your monthly payment will be lower.
So basically you're saying you're going to have to do 86 months?
Well, I mean, I think the most is 84. There's 72. There's 36, 54.
You're going to have to if you want to make those $500 payments instead of that $800, $1,000 payments in order to, do what the government wants. And that way they can control everybody on the energy grid. So when something happens, and they can stop everybody in their tracks. Or if you don't, like say you're not vaccinated and you have an electric car, well, you can't drive no more because we shut you down because you're not vaccinated. It's all about control at the end of the day, right?
Okay.
But we all want to stay consumed with Ukraine when they got a whole entire president who seems like he's in trouble over there. But then again, is he really in trouble? What's really going on with Russia? I don't know, but I just made a little comment because it's my opinion, and I stand by my opinion. This guy says, so do you think we should have stayed out of World War II as well? It ain't got nothing to do with World War II. I wasn't around in World War II. We weren't around when all these other wars took place. Last time I heard, they were looking for a missing fleet from Japan. Couldn't find it. They were told maybe we should protect or put Pearl Harbor on notice. They didn't do that. So your government messed that all up. They ain't got nothing to do with us. Your government messed that up. The government is the key recyclable common denominator. Okay? They messed that up. You want to blame the disasters that happened at Pearl Harbor, blame your government. Just like when people go missing, blame your government. They know where people are. They ain't going to tell you. Then we got what? Let's see. There were some people that did like what I had to say. Oh my God, you weren't aware that we help our allies as they help us? What a heartless comment. It's an opinion. What do you mean a heartless comment? You know what? I'm heartless with the Ukraine. Okay, I'm heartless. Are all you people that are defending Ukraine, are you also defending when they didn't allow the dark-skinned people to get on the trains as they were trying to evacuate? Did you defend that? Or did you speak up loudly against that? I'm curious to know. For all you people that are over here upset at my comments because it's heartless, were you heartfelt when the Haitians came to cross our borders and they were stopped by horseback and put on a plane and sent back to Haiti? Were you heartfelt over that? Did you cry outrage? Did you have celebrities raise millions of dollars to supply them with the stuff that they need? No, because you have people like the Clintons who have a whole stake in that country. That's why they gone to hell and back. But you're upset about me and my comments over Ukraine? I mean, what did Ukraine do for me? Doesn't Hunter Biden sit on an energy panel or something like that over in Ukraine? Oh, but you don't know nothing about that because what? Y'all are just focused on what's going on right now. Y'all don't want to pay attention to anything else that's happening or whatever else the government's planning on doing that we don't know about, right? But y'all stay mad at me for a heartless comment. Right, so heartless. I didn't know your opinions could be heartless. An opinion is just an opinion, right? But apparently it is. Someone said, what? We can't let Russia dictate terms and conditions to us. They are a weak country with nuclear... I guess she was trying to say weak. They are a weak country with nuclear weapons. All right, if this is how y'all feel, where was this outrage prior to the Ukraine? If this is how you feel, where was the outcry prior to Ukraine? If y'all were so scared of Russia and their nuclear weapons, why wasn't they taken care of a long time ago? Help me out. Let me know. If we're so scared of Russia, why weren't we scared 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Help me understand. What am I missing here? Truth. What am I missing?
It was different back then.
No, don't tell me it was different back then. No, because you're telling me that we can't let him dictate rules to us, and you're telling me he's got a country full of nuclear weapons. He can do anything to us at any time. He's been had those, okay? Every country got something going on that everybody don't know about, okay?
Well, you have to understand the impedance that the United States has on a lot of outside foreign countries. And a lot of these resources. That's all these wars ever been about. Money, resources, what can you give me? Just like we talked about, you brought to our attention about the 13.56. I want to be
13.6, get it right. It was a lot of money.
I apologize. 13.6 trillion budget.
No. It's a 1.5 trillion funding bill.
Funding bill. All right, so what?
13.6 billion goes to the Ukraine.
Right, and here's what you said it, but you said it fast. I understand people truly understood that. Now, who's going to supply all the gear to this effort?
Oh wait, no, there are other countries. Hold on, there are other countries that got involved. Other countries are sending them. No, I'm not saying that. What
I'm saying is this: you mentioned it, and I don't think people understand. So a lot of the weapons that they are going to be getting is coming from the United States. So what do you think that $13.6 trillion is going to go back to? The United States. So you got rocket launchers. That's going to cost you about $150,000. You want 400 of them? Here you go. You need M16s. And so all that money, they're going, oh, this is for you, but we're going to take this back and put a lot more of this in our pocket. And that's all these wars are about, unfortunately. Somebody trying to pad their pocket. Someone wants the natural resources. So, and it's always easier for someone to complain about a country outside of the country. Not many people are going to sit in that country and complain about it because they know what's going to happen to them.
Again, you have Russia. You have an unstable, what is he, the gremlin? Or is that the name of whatever? Putin is unstable. We already knew that. You didn't have nobody try to take him out so y'all can take over Russia and do whatever it is you want with them. We didn't have a war with Russia under Trump, right? We didn't have a war under Obama, correct?
Right.
So why all of a sudden are we having issues now? What changed? What happened? These are the questions you need to be asking because something doesn't add up. Stop believing everything you see on TV and start asking questions because something, again, doesn't add up. You had a whole president tell you that the gas prices are still going to go high and you could blame Putin for it. Then people said, well, the gas prices started rising before Putin. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And we don't get our gas from there anyway.
So you want to blame Putin for gas prices, and he ain't got nothing to do with gas prices. Pay attention and ask those questions, because if that sounded stupid, then the rest of it sounds stupid. Something don't add up. Yes, they bombing a whole bunch, okay? Yes, you hear reports of the Russian soldiers don't know what to do. They're trying to shoot themselves and cause injuries so they don't have to fight. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. A whole lot of misinformation being told to us left and right. We see pictures of the president going to the hospital, shaking hands of people who I guess served or got injured. Why are you there? I don't think I want to see you because I feel like as the president, you should have evacuated your people a long time ago. Why you had them still sitting there? You want people to rally, but then I'm supposed to have compassion for a country, the Ukraine, when I saw people that look like me getting kicked off a train. I'm supposed to have compassion for the Ukraine when people like me that look like me, maybe darker than me, get sent on a plane to go back to the country because they're not welcome in the United States. I guarantee you, if the United States, if they haven't already, said we'll take the refugees and bring them over here and house them in the United States, I guarantee that's next, okay? Because the United States loves to do for everybody else and does nothing for the people here. This is why I made the comment that I made. Because $13.6 billion makes no sense to me. Because at the end of the day, we the American people did not say you could do that. At the end of the day, the people that are really hurting are us. Because the people that are in charge do not take care of us. Y'all, in 2 seconds, gave away $13.6 billion. You can't even come up with a plan to get rid of or wipe out student loans. $13.6 billion. You could have given that money back to store owners, the small mom and pop shops, to help them rebuild their businesses. No, they had to sign a PPP loan, right? Which is a loan, meaning you got to pay that back, right? Is that the definition of a loan?
That was a specific type of loan, but the majority of people weren't eligible for it anyway.
Oh, they weren't eligible? Why they weren't eligible?
Because of the rules and stipulations.
So you're going to put rules and stipulations. So what were the rules and stipulations that you got on the whole 13.6?
A certain amount had to be done towards employees. And what if you just two people? Do you pay yourself? How much do you pay yourself? So there were a lot of people that were confused, and that's why there was so much more money still left in that fund because a lot of people didn't qualify.
Because you did that on purpose. Because it was never really meant to help. Because if it were meant to help, you would have made it easier for the American people to get that help. But you had no problem helping the Ukraine and their situation. My thing is this. I just want the United States to help the United States. I want Americans taken care of. I don't care about the Ukraine. I don't care about Russia. I don't care about nobody over there. Why? Because I want America to care about America. As quickly as you was able to get $13.6 billion and allocate it over to Ukraine. Hold up. So wait. It took you how many years for the Emmett Till bill? But it took you 20 seconds to send $13.6 billion over to Ukraine? So y'all thinking that I don't care and I'm supposed to care when it took you how many years for the Emmett Till bill? Again, like I said, if y'all don't look like Ukraine, if y'all don't look like the people in Europe and your skin is darker than theirs, if you go past the equator and you real black, they don't give a crap. That's where that goes. I just answered my own. There we go. That's why we can't get nothing if you darker. So I'm supposed to care about the lighter people. I always got to care about the lighter people. I always got to be sensitive to the light. I'm a very compassionate person. I do care about what's going on over there. I do care about the children and all the victims. I really do. But somebody's got to stick up for the people here. Because, see, y'all done lost your minds. You always want to fight somebody else's battles. You all want to fight somebody else's wars. You all want to stick your nose in something that has nothing to do with us. You all want to do for everybody else, and we get nothing. And some of you with opinions talk about you care. Then if you care so much, then please ship yourselves over there and go help them fight. If you care so much, ship yourself over there and go help them fight. I'm telling you what everybody else is thinking because I'm not the only one thinking the same thing. Okay? How you rallying to get money to send over there to Poland and coats and stuff like that. What the Polish people doing? Aren't they organizing to help them too? Like, what? Now you want to Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher had a fun. Y'all better be asking for receipts, first of all, because you know this is the perfect time for scammers. Y'all better be asking for receipts. Before you making all these donations, you better find out where your money going. Because all that money, who you trusting? Just because somebody says I want to set up a fund, who you trusting? Who? Because guess what? You got to pay other people to do certain things. And that comes out of the money that was raised. Unless you're telling me the whole $5 million you raised is going directly to. Okay, so how is it being dispersed? You got to find all that out. Don't just be sending money to try to help people. And then again, they have $13.6 billion. Why are y'all raising more money? Y'all don't know? Because I don't even know. But y'all mad at me. I'm probably going to piss some more people off because I'm going to keep tweeting. I don't care. Because again, I don't get upset. You know, I read, I make a comment, I move on. I read other comments. Some comments I laugh at, some I shake my head at. I don't always respond to people's comments. Sometimes if I do respond to someone else's comment that I don't agree with, I involve them in a conversation. Not to the point where I'm sitting here yelling at them because I don't agree with what they're saying. No. Shoot, let me know why you feel this way. What's going on with you? We can go back and forth and we can happily disagree with each other. Some of y'all just be so in your feelings and emotional. Shoot, y'all probably like that werewolf lady. Secretly thinking that you one way and you waking up another way and then you out in the woods howling at the moon. Oh, that's probably half of y'all. I can't imagine 50 of y'all really got upset over what I tweeted. It wasn't that serious. I'm not the only one that tweeted like that. So y'all must have just went through all the comments and just wanted to get mad that day. I can't wait for the next tweet because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be looking for something just to say something just to piss people off just because I can. Anyway, I highly recommend everybody tune into your local city council meetings. I had the pleasure of doing that this week. I didn't know they were lit. And when I say lit, I didn't know there was so much drama. I needed popcorn, drinks. It was amazing. You really need to pay attention. You need to understand what's being done in your cities, local. You need to go to these meetings. If they're virtual, go virtual. A lot of them are online. A lot of them are on YouTube. Pay attention to what is going on and get vocal. Show up, announce who you are, make your presence known. Because a lot of deals are being done on the side. Shady Congress people, shady state people, shady mayors and council members. You need to start asking questions. Like, I was proud of my North Ward council person because at first I was giving him the side eye, but he came correct. He was asking about the potholes. He put it out there. It's on record. So now we have, and everything is on record. So it shouldn't take us 1, 2, 3, 5 months to get something done because we spoke about this in March. So if I had a conversation with you in March and I'm coming back in June and stuff is still not done, then we have a problem. Clearly somebody's not doing their job. And then also, if you have a meeting and council members are not present and they're considered absent, ask, do you want to be reelected? Because y'all get paid a nice little salary and you ain't doing nothing. You got to be present. I'm telling everybody, be present, start getting involved in everything local. Pay attention. Because we have hardworking people out there, residents, that get involved and they make noise. And the only way, like for instance, ice cream trucks. I didn't even know this. They have a permit. This one lady pays $500. They raised her permit to $1,500. And she had to go there and say, but I'm seasonal. We only work 2 months out of the year. She doesn't make no $1,500. Like $1,500. That didn't even make any sense for that permit. And then they said, oh, well, no, we're voting on it today. That was an error. They got it mixed up with another truck. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. That's a lie. But it is what it is. I'm just saying, y'all need to go ahead and get involved with your local city, all that, the clerk's office. Pay attention to what is going on. And you know what? I have compassion for people. I have compassion for everybody. But my main concern is the Americans that live right here because we got work to do. You got people, listen, you got Ukrainians that live here. Let them worry about Ukraine. You didn't like I said that? It's my opinion. That's how I feel. We're on a black-owned network. We can do whatever we want. We can say whatever we want. If you feel like you want to debate me on it, go ahead and debate me. I don't have a problem with that. But my opinion is my opinion. And I have every right to it because we're in a free country so far. Y'all better be glad that you have the right to voice your opinions as well. Because coming soon, it's all going to be silenced. And nobody won't be able to say anything. And then the rest of us can say, we told you so. Power to the people. Fourth shot coming soon. Till next time.